Good afternoon, and oh, here we go. Wanted to put out a couple of samples of what I'm going to be making today. There we go. And we will be going live in just about a minute. Looks like lighting is fine. Let's try adding a little more. And there we go. Trying some new lighting. So let's see if that, nope, we need that. There we go. Hopefully that looks good. All right, it is 4 o'clock on the dot, and we're going to get started. Welcome to Fun Friday with Stampin' with Jen, and my name is Jenny, and I am I am one of the many Stampin' Up! independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm actually located more in the east Contra Costa County area, out by the Sacramento Delta. So welcome, and let's see, there we go. I have it set up so I can see comments, and I look forward to sharing this with you. Just to let you know, I cased this card, and it was one that I saw on Facebook, and I follow several other demonstrators, and this comes from a demonstrator by the name of Connie Stewart. Her Stampin' Up! Blog and Facebook page and Instagram is called, hopefully if I get this right, it's Simply Simple Stamping. Hi Shannon, welcome. How are you doing today? So we're doing these cards, and they look like your simple bookbind cards, which is a fun card that I like to make, and I've done it several times. But there's a little surprise in these cards, and let me show you. It is what Connie calls a bookbind explosion. Have you ever seen the explosion boxes where you open up and it's box after box after box after box? This is sort of like that. It's a bookbind explosion card, and you say, you open it up, and oh, there's my little notes right there for, I'll move that. And you open up, and then you open it up, and open it up, and there is your card with your sentiment up here and a space for you to go ahead and do your writing or anything you want to write there. So we're going to make these. Let me show you the ones that I've made. This is one that I've made. Good. Oh, an eye doctor appointment. Fun. This is Petunia Pop and Summer Splash, my two most favorite in colors. And then I made myself use the Shy Shamrock. This is a color I haven't used a lot, so I haven't found a love for it yet. They are fun cards, Shannon. They're really fun. But I decided to pair it with our Peach Pie, which is another in color. And this one just says Celebrate. Oh, each one of my cards has its little notes on the inside. And this says Celebrate You. And you can, here's the sentiment or the continuation of the front where it says Celebrate. And this is where you can write your note. And this is Shy Shamrock and Peach Pie. And then the other one is using our bright and beautiful DSP. And it's a birthday card. It says Make a Wish. And we're going to be doing one using this stamp set. It's the Hooray for Surprises stamp set. We're going to be using this stamp set, different DSP. But, oh, again, my notes. I'll put those off to the side. And you open it up, and you have Hope Your Birthday's Wonderful with the cake on it. So these are the cards. We're going to be making 2 of these cards today. One is going to be using our In Colors and Unbounded Beauty DSP, and the other one is going to be using our Full of Life DSP and a couple other colors. So let's go ahead and get started. Put some of these notes away so I don't get them stuck. So let's go ahead, and I have my measurements written here, and I will include them in the YouTube when I post this on YouTube tomorrow. All the information will be on there. But we have our card base, which is 11 by 4.5, 11 long, 4.5, and we will score it in two places. We'll score it at 5.5 and 4.25. And then we also have, for our inside explosion, we have a 6x6 DSP. We also have, for the outside of the bookbind, we have our 4x4, and this will be cut down into a 1x4. And then this is a map for the inside. Here are our pieces for our sentiment. And then I have, just in case I needed extra ones, but this is for the inside of for the sentiments on the inside. So let's go ahead and put some of this aside, and we'll go ahead and get started on scoring our bookbind. So we'll pull out our trimmer, and I'm going to make sure the cutting blade is pushed all the way up. It's the darker blade, and then the lighter blade is our scoring blade. So I'm going to pull that up, score it at 5.5 first. And there we go, 5.5, and then scoot it on down to 4.25. There we go, 4.25, and take that out, and we'll put this aside because we're going to need it for the inside explosion. And then I'm going to fold this over, and we'll burnish it, and then we'll fold this back. So we fold it first at the 5.5 score mark, and then this side with the score mark at the 4.25 is on the front. You're going to bend that backwards and burnish it some more, and we will eventually adhere this with, and I have found, either use your Tombow glue, or yesterday I tried, when I was making the other cards the other day, I used my seal and Stampin' seal, and that didn't quite hold it because of the ribbon, and so I went and used my tear and tape, and that definitely held it. So I would suggest for this card, in the bookbinding area, you use either your Tombow glue or the tear and tape. If you're going to have ribbon in decorating this part of your card, I would recommend tear and tape. It seems to hold it a little bit better. So let's go ahead, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our first DSP panel of 4x4 on there. This you can use Tombow glue, so we're going to go ahead and put our Tombow glue on here. And just so you guys know, what I've decided to do is I'm using Pretty in Pink as my card base, but I'm using this with the Summer Splash side of has the Summer Splash on the other side of the DSP on here. And so let me go ahead and cut this down, and then I've got to decide, do I want to use Petunia Pop or maybe Pretty in Pink ribbon on here? I wasn't going to do ribbon, but I think what I'll do is I'll do ribbon so I can show you guys. And this is a 1 inch wide, 1x4. So, oops, don't want to mess that up. Oop. There we go. Make sure that's at 1. And when I'm doing smaller pieces like this, I often like to measure if it's only going to be 1 inch on, oops, let me move this down so you can see, on this end rather than this end. Somehow it just makes it a little bit easier. It's all preference. And we'll cut that. So I have my 1 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down as well, but I'm going to use the Summer Splash side just to add a little contrast. And we're going to line the bottom up with the bottom of the 4x4 and in the center. So there we go. And let's see, I think, I wasn't planning on putting, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use, what do you think? Let's go ahead and look, and you guys tell me what you think. Pretty in Pink ribbon, or Petunia Pop. part of me's thinking Pretty in Pink just because I've got the Pretty in Pink frame on the cardstock. So let's see, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink. I'm really liking the pink against that, so I think I'm going to go with the pink. Let me know what you think. We're going to be using, I don't know if I'm using ribbon on the next one because I'm not using any of the in colors, and that's the only ribbon I have right now. So we'll go ahead and we're going to do Pretty in Pink. And so I'm just going to make this a little bit longer than the length of the card, and because I just need to tuck it in, I'll use glue dots to adhere that. Let me go ahead and put my ribbon away and find my glue dots since I've added. There's my glue dots. And what I'm going to do, what I have found is easiest, is I just rip the two pieces of glue dots, the two glue dots I need. So I rip the piece of paper, so I just have those, and that way I'm not fumbling around with this big old roll or having it roll away from me, which then exposes the other glue dots. And then I just put the glue dots on either side. And actually, I also like to put one glue dot in the middle. And I just realized I didn't need to put the glue, and that way I have this. If I put the glue dot in the middle, attach it to the front of the card, then when I go to attach these on the inside, I'm not going to have it wiggle away and not be centered. And then we go ahead and pull these over. We got that. And see, now it's centered and it didn't get wiggled away. We'll throw these off to the side. And then I needed, I'll just cut it for right now, another small piece of Pretty in Pink. I'll just cut that and put it aside. And so is the weather nice where you're at, Shannon? I know you're in the middle of making your cards and stuff right now too, so can't wait to see you post some of those. All right, let's see. Oh, so here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you where the tear and tape comes in, because if you try and put any other adhesive, it doesn't stick as well. At least that's been my experience. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little tear and tape on the inside, on each side of the ribbon. Tear and tape is one of my favorite adhesives, especially if you need something very durable. And I'm going to just use my bone folder to secure it down, and then my take-a-pick tool to lift and take the cover, the top piece up. And you can see the shimmer. Oh, I need to move this up a little bit. I have it closer to me and you guys can't see as well. There we go. Now you can see the shimmer where the adhesive is at. And we're going to take this and push it down in here, and now we've got our book bind. Oh, I knew I did something wrong. Oh my goodness, I do this every time. Let's see. Can I do this? Nope. So I'm going to do something a little different with my, we're going to wing it. We're going to wing our, I did this last time too. We're going to wing it on our sentiment, because what I should have done is I should have, before I glued this 4x4 down, is stamped my sentiment and attached the white to the summer splash and then glued it onto the 4x4, and then you cut it off. I'll do that for the next one. I'm going to try not to forget. So what I think I'm going to do is, let's see. Let's see. I haven't quite figured out what we're going to do yet. So let's think about that one. We'll work on everything else first and see what comes up. All right, so this is going to go on the inside here on the mat. But before we do that, we're going to create the explosion part of our card. And for that, I need a 3x3. For this one, I need a 3x3. Connie, Stewart has one where you actually can use an 8x8 piece of DSP, but I like doing the 3x3 because I can just, or the 6x6 because I can just grab one of my pieces of 6x6 I already have cut. And we're going to score it at 3. So I got measuring to 3. Let's see if I can push this up a little bit so you guys can see. Here we go. We have it at 3. We're going to score it. You want to push down but not too hard so that you don't want to rip the paper, but you do want to make sure that you can see that the scored line. And then we're going to turn it and go 3x3 again, or mark it at 3. And we're going to go 3 a couple times there. And what that's done is it's created 4 equal 3x3 squares on here. Now, here's what we're going to do is we're going to take this and put this right back where it was, bring our blade, our cutting blade all the way down, 3, and what we're going to do is we're going to stop at the scoring blade. So I'm going to stand up and look down so that what I can do is make sure that these little arrows here, let me see if you can see this. If you look at our trimmer, they've got little marks. Let's see. There we go. They've got little marks here and here. And so if I can line those little marks up with the 3-inch mark where I scored, then I'll just cut up to that 3-inch. So it's going to go carefully. To about there. And if I went a little over, not a big deal. If I went a little under, I can always finish cutting it with my scissors or with my snips. So let's put this aside. And I didn't quite cut it all the way, so let's go ahead and get my paper snips, not my ribbons. And we're going to finish cutting it just a little bit up to that middle point. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and what we need to decide is, do we want our flowers showing when we open up the card, or do we want our Summer Splash batik look showing when we open up the card? Personally, because I'm putting this on a back, a mat of Summer Splash, I think that might be a little too, it sort of blends in. So I'm going to make it so we can have the flowers showing. So that means we're going to put it the flower side down, and we're going to fold up on the left side, and you want to burnish it, and then fold over to the right and burnish it, and then fold down and then burnish it again. And so now we've got our fold that we do. And we are going to put our sentiment here and here, our white cardstock here and here. But what we're going to do first is we're going to, you know what, just so I don't make a mistake, we're going to go ahead and do our white cardstock first, our stamps. And we're going to use, Layers of Beauty for, we're going to use these couple of these smaller flowers down here, and we're going to use them in Petunia Pop in order to sort of make it pop on the white part where we're going to put our sentiment. So let's get our stamp, and something you may already know, but if you don't, here's a good tip. When you're working with photopolymer stamps, go ahead and you don't apply them, pull them off and apply them to the block directly. Set them down flat side up, the side that you're going to attach to your block, and that way, because photopolymers can stretch a little bit when you're pulling them out, and you want it to be in as perfect shape as possible, and then you go ahead and put your stamp on there. Another thing I'm going to do, because I haven't used this stamp yet, is I'm going to season it in one of these little the white photopolymer erasers are perfect. So I'm going to just rub that on there real quick, and then I'll go off screen and wipe it on my Stampin' scrub and get all that out there. And then we're going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment, or the part for our sentiment. I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to go down here and put one just off to the opposite. There we go. So we're going to have it nice and framed. And we're going to put the sentiment in Summer Splash. So let me clean that off and put our stamp back, because if I don't put it back now, I may lose it, and especially as small as stamp it is, and I don't want to lose it. Plus, I've promised myself I'm not going to let my crafting area get to be as bad as it was last week, and I did a major cleanup this week, so my goal is to put everything away after I use it. And then let's get another stamp for our sentiment, and we're going to put on the outside, we're going to put grateful for the everyday magic of you, and this is from the Something Fancy stamp set. And then on the inside, we're going to put you matter to so many. I think those work perfectly well together. So we're going to take this out, and this isn't a photopolymer, so they won't stick out. Let's see, this is the you matter to so many. So we're going to go ahead and, actually it might work on this block, so we're going to go ahead and use it on the B block. And then I'm just going to put right here my Summer Splash. All right. So, all right, here we go. Oh, you know what? I'm going to stand up, because if I don't stand up, I won't get it centered, and then I'll be frustrated. There we go. That's sort of centered. So we're going to put that, and this goes up in, you know what actually would look better? No, I think it'll be fine. You could do the straight across like I did here, or you could even put it at an angle, but I think I like it like that. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it there. And we're going to attach this with a little bit of Tombow glue. And you're going to center it right there, or as centered as you possibly can get. All right, and now we're going to put our other white paper right here. And I don't know, I think we're going to leave that blank, or let's see. You know what? We're going to use another one of the small flowers that's in the Layers of Beauty, and we're going to put it just on this thing, because I just have a hard time leaving any white cardstock in the center of a card or in the middle of a card blank. It's not what I like to do. It's got to give something. So we're going to use this little one here. You can see we used this guy for the upper corner. We're going to go use him, just a little one in the small corner. So let me take this off. And we're going to do it in the Petunia Pop again. So, all right. And I'm just going to put right there, just a cute little stem, just so that nothing's blank. I don't like blank white. It looks so, it looks lonely. It looks sad by itself. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to fold up, fold over, fold back down, and this page, or this side, or the flap that's got the cardstock on it, is where we're going to put our glue. A little bit of Tombow, and then we're going to center it on our Summer Splash. And the Summer Splash card, our cardstock, is a 3.5 by 3.5, so that it fits perfectly in here, which is a 4 by 4. Now we're going to attach this to the inside. And there we go. So, card's almost done. I just have to figure out what I'm going to do. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go, we're going to cut this 4, and let's see. Let's see, Everyday Magic. We're going to use this one, and we're going to Summer Splash. We're going to use the Everyday Magic of You. Grateful for the Everyday Magic of You. And then put that right there. And we're going to cut this. And I think we're going to cut it and see how long it is. And we're going to cut the Summer Splash mat to be just about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So it looks like this is going to be 1, 2, 3 1/4. So we're going to make this 4 inches long. No, we're going to go 3. No, we're going to go 3 1/2. 3 1/2. So that it fits right along. There we go. And we're going to put this on. All right. So center that. If you can hear in the background, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but my daughter's desk from Amazon arrived today. So my husband and my daughter are putting it together so she has a place for studying once school starts up in August. So we're going to go ahead and put this, and then we can just put it at an angle like the original plan is. But because of that, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to put a little zhuzh on that, put a little sparkly on that, and we're going to put our in-color gems. We're going to use the Pretty in Pink. I think would look really pretty. So we're going to go Pretty in Pink, and we're going to just put one there, and one there. There goes the drill. So put these aside, and let's attach this, and then we'll tie our ribbon up. If I can find what I did with my ribbon, otherwise I'll just get another piece. Since that wasn't originally planned, I don't have it in my stash. All right, so we'll put that there, and let's find our ribbon. If not, I'll just cut it. Oh, there it is. And let's go ahead and tie it. And I'm going to put it down towards where I put the glue dot down there. And then we just take it and tie it as such. And it's not really a bow, but it's a nice little fancy knot. And then we'll cut it at an angle. Let's see, we'll cut this at an angle here. And then we've got our first card done. So let's toss some of this extra stuff, put some of our stamps away, and I will get us started on card number 2. All right, and card number 2 is going to be a birthday card, and we're going to use a lot of fun stuff in there. So let me get this stuff put aside, and we'll start making our birthday card, our Explosion Bookbind birthday card. I am so glad I saw this because I love this card. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to make a bunch of these for the craft fairs that I'm going to be doing coming this fall. I think these would go over really fun. So here's our card. It's Pretty in Pink. And it says, grateful for the everyday magic of you, and you open it up, and there's our explosion aspect of the card, and it says, you matter to many, so many. And then we've got our area for writing. So we'll go ahead and put this aside, and pull out the things to make our next card. And on this card, we're going to use the Hooray for Surprises stamp set, and we're going to use let me pull it out. I can show you where's my Fun of Life, Full of Life, not Fun of Life. Well, life is fun, but our Full of Life DSP. I think I showed this in my unboxing, but let me show you this. All these fun colors and patterns, starburst, polka dots, big dots. I think there's some little dots. There's these blots. There's this, and I saw a really cool card where somebody took this and they cut it up and they made it into, for us kids that grew up in the 80s, us Gen Xers, a Tetris card. It used the whole concept of Tetris, which I thought was awesome. I loved playing that game, and to be perfectly honest, I still like to play some of those Tetris type games on my iPhone. So anyway, so this is Full of Life. We're going to use Full of Life DSP. We're going to use Hooray for Surprises. We're also going to use our Stampin' Right markers to color the stamps, as well as stamp ink pads to go ahead and do the sentiments and such. So let's go ahead and get started, and this time I'm going to remember to stamp. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's do this first. Let's stamp our sentiment on that goes on the front first, and it's going to say Make a Wish. We're going to pull off the Make a Wish. Remember, photopolymer, we're going to lay it down so that we can let it go back to its original shape. And we're going to do Baby Blue, not Baby Blue, oh my, Balmy Blue as our card base. And the backing or the matting for our sentiment is going to be Granny Apple Green. So I think we may just go ahead and do, let's see, what color do I want to do? I don't want to do, you know what, let's do, I'm going to do Granny Apple Green for our sentiment. So let's go ahead and we're going to do our sentiment in Granny Apple Green. We're going to say Make a Wish. And we're going to put that right in the center. And then we're going to put our candles on either side, because if you remember our other card like this, we had candles on either side. We're going to head and do the candles. I've got a tip for that that I learned when doing this card, and the candles are a part of the stamp set as well. Here is our little tiny candle, and here is the flame. And what I learned is do the flame first so that you can make sure you can get the flame and the candle to fit. So we're going to do the flame in Lemon Lolly. All right. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it right up here so there's our flame, and we'll do another flame on this side. There's our flame again, and now we're going to do the candle, and I think we're going to do the candle in Berry Burst. How does that sound? So we'll turn our candle over and attach it to the block, and now you can light it up, and it almost looks like a little firecracker, to be honest. Oops, that might have too much ink on it. Let's try this again. All right, we're going to go ahead and stand up so I can see down. There's our card, our candle. And we're going to do, there's our other candle. It almost looks like a, actually with those colors, it does look a bit like a firecracker. But, you know, for some of those who are born on the 4th of July, like some people I know, perfect. All right, let's put our candle, these stamps especially because they're so tiny, let's put those away before they get lost. Put those away, and then we're going to need the cake. So I'm going to pull out the cake and put it up here. And then we're also going to use the Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful stamp. And that is right here. So we're going to put that up there as well. So we can set this aside. Now, before we do anything, we're going to wink a Stella. We're going to Stella eyes our candle flames so that they are glittery. So I'm going to just put a little bit of Wink of Stella right there on the flame and just go out on that. All right. So now, not sure if you guys can see it. We'll hold this up. Maybe you can see the, I'm looking to see. Yep, you can see a little bit of the, oh, there we go. There's some of the sparkle. Now we're going to attach this in the middle of our mat of Granny Apple Green. And I'm going to put a little glue on the, a little bit of glue. And I'm not going to do it all, I don't do it all the way because we don't necessarily, you're not going to use the whole piece. We're going to do this, put it down. And now we're going to take our 4x4 piece of paper, which this is what I forgot to do last time. And we're going to attach it. And this I'm going to use my silicone mat just in case I get glue that oozes over. And we're going to go ahead and put this so it just goes a little angle. Goes at an angle. We'll put some glue on the bottom. And we're going to put this like so. All right. Push down. I'm going to turn that upside down and let it dry because there is, as you can see, some glue that came out. We're going to let that dry, put that off to the side. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and score and get this together. Get our card base put together. And then we'll start working on the inside of our card. So let's go ahead and remember it's an 11 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to move my cutting blade up so I don't use that on accident. And we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And score again. And then 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And there we are. We're scored there. We're going to fold this over. And burnish it. Fold it at the 5 1/2. And then fold it back. We're going to fix this because it's a little off. There we go. Sometimes when it's a little off, I hold it and I put both of the opening ends together and then it may bubble up a bit and I just push it out, almost like you're pushing air bubbles out. Push it out so that it burnishes that score mark in the middle. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and fold over and score again. Now this one, we're not going to put any ribbon in. No, I don't have any ribbon planned for this one. So we're just going to go ahead and use a little bit of our Tombow glue in the middle here and push down. And I'm going to rub it to make sure it's got a good seal, or a good, not a good seal, well, a good seal. It seals the two pieces together. And then we've got this piece, which is the back side of the dots that we used. And I turn it over and it's got that watercolor look to it, which matches the watercolor look of the dots. We're going to go ahead and glue that right here too. Give it some contrast so it's not exactly the same. I like that contrast. I don't like the book here or this part, the binder part, to be the exact same as the 4x4 DSP because then it had some contrast to it. And let's go ahead. I've already scored and cut, and I like this one. I love the starburst look to it. And I've already scored it at 3 and 3, and then I cut it up. I cut from the bottom up, and I folded it so that what we're going to have is and I didn't burnish this one, so I'm going to burnish it a little bit. So let's go ahead and burnish that. And we're going to fold it over and burnish that. All right. So, and now because this has got so much color to it, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a white mat. So this white mat is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then we have our two mats that go on the inside for our sentiments. And we're gonna go ahead and take care of this one right now. Let's go ahead and do, we're gonna use our Stampin' Right motors. We're gonna do the cake first. And this is where the Stampin' Right markers are awesome for this. It allows you to create and take a stamp and make it in multiple colors without having to do the masking technique. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've got crushed curry and granny apple, oh no, lemon lime twist and blueberry bushel, and I'm going to color the card. So, or the stamp, not the card, the stamp. So I'm going to use the brush part, which is the thicker side. Hi, Becky, welcome. Oh, your internet's being crazy. Well, you know, I almost panicked because my daughter came home from shopping earlier, about an hour and a half ago, and she goes, Mom, the internet's out. I'm like, oh, I hope not, because if the internet's out, I'm in big trouble. Luckily, the internet's working, so we're good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color the cake stand and the ruffle that's for the stand, the edge of the stand, in my crushed curry. And then we're going to, let's see, do I want to do blue as the smaller part? I think I'm going to do that because then it'll put a different color between the two, the greens and the yellows. So the big layer of my cake is going to be the blueberry bushel. And we just take the paintbrush side or the brush side of the pen and just rub it on. Or color it on, however you want to call it. Becky, did you get your, was it you, I think, said you got a new desk and you're putting a new desk together? Or is it somebody else that said they had a new desk and they were putting a desk together and they were hoping to get online? So we're going to do that. Oh my goodness, my crushed curry didn't stay very well. So let's go ahead and color crushed curry again. All right, crushed curry, there we go. Now before that beads up, I'm going to huff on it a little bit, and I'm going to do my card. There we go. There's my cake with the cake stand. Clean that up. And then we're going to do the Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful. And let me, where's my block for that? I'll get another block. Hope Your Birthday is Wonderful. And we're going to do that in Berry Burst. So, let's see. Hope your birthday is wonderful. And we're going to put that just at an angle. There we go. And there is the inside, our sentiment part of the card. And I'm going to glue that right up here. And let's see, a little dab will do ya on the Tombow glue. And I don't know, it's habit for me to put the cap on, but I think that's because I don't have a stand for it. I do have a like a glass. I got this originally a while back to put my Tombow glue in, but it's so big I ended up throwing scissors and stuff in it, and now that's what I use it for, my scissors and stuff. So my Tombow just sort of sits on its side, so I need to get one of those stands so that I don't have to put on and off the cap all the time and it doesn't dry out. And then we're going to put our place to write our sentiment, and sometimes you can fold that flap up and it helps you see where your edges are here. So we're going to put that there, and there is the inside of our card. And again, we're going to, that might need a little bit of glue under there. Let's lift that up, put a little squeeze, and there we go. And then we're going to fold this. We're going to go left side up, or left side over to the right, and right side down. And we're going to put glue on the second plain white piece, and then center it on the white mat that we're going to have. Now, here's the thought. Let's see. Should I put a couple of birthday candles on this? I know I said I like to zhuzh them up, but I don't like to leave it blank. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put a little candle. Or better yet, you know what? There's a little heart here. I think I'm going to put a couple little hearts just to give it a fun little look on the inside. So let's do a couple hearts in our berry burst to match our sentiment right up here. So we'll do a couple little hearts. There we go. And that gives you a fun place to write your sentiment or whatever little note you want to write. And like I said, because these stamps are so tiny, I'm going to put them away right now. I won't worry about this one, that. All right, so we've got that up, over, and across, and then I'm going to glue this onto the middle. And we'll attach this, center it. All right. Now, if you'd like, let's see, what do I have? Do I have any small? I just had a thought. What I have done in the past is, you can see in this one, I did put open here. And so maybe I'll try and do that with a small square. And I have some leftovers here. I can put that right here. And we'll use the open here from the Hooray for Surprises, so that somebody opens this up and they know exactly what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to open here. And we'll put that in. We're going to put that in Berry Burst as well. Just tap a little bit. Make sure my stamp ink pad is closed all the way. There. And a couple of more hearts. So I'll just, you know what, sometimes I just take that and I put the heart on the other side. And we'll throw a couple hearts on there and we'll attach that there. There we go. And let's attach that to the inside so they know what to do on this card. There we go. And now for the final part, we're going to do what I forgot to do, and that's we're going to attach the outside. I'm going to use my special, these aren't Stampin' Up, but there's something I learned from my mentor, Patty. It's non-stick card or scissors with the titanium. Because these are sticky from the glue, I don't want to gum up my snips. And so I have these to cut, and I'm just going to cut the edge off, because you can see how it's stuck to my thing. And then cut that off. And there we have our cover for our card, the card front. We're going to attach this, and we're going to add a bow to the front. I'm not a bow person, but I think the bow looks cute on it, so we're going to attach that there. And I'm going to get out some white. Nope, that's too small. This is white diagonal trim, 1/4 inch, and it is a part of, well, you can buy it, it comes as a set, let's see, with this petal pink diagonal trim, petal pink and white, and it comes as a part. You can buy it separately like this as a pair, or it can be as a part of the country birdhouse suite, or the something country suite that has the birdhouses and the flowers and the wood DSP and the country lace DSP. So we're going to go ahead and cut a decent size off. Oh, I almost used the wrong scissors. I used my non-stick scissors. I'm going to have my ribbon scissors here. We'll cut that. Sorry for my reach. And this is how I make my bows. I hold it and create 2 loops on my fingers, and then I cross them, cross one over, right over left, left over right, and I pull it until I get the bow size I want. So, and this is usually great for small bows. Well, not too small, medium, just medium-sized bows. And then we'll go ahead and cut off the edge. Cut off this edge. Oops. And then I'm going to use a glue dot, and we're going to put it right up there, or I don't know. If I put it here, it sort of covers. Oh, that should work right there. That works right there. So we're going to get our glue dots out, and I know I brought them out. Let me see, where did I put my glue dots? Last night, or no, a couple nights ago. Oh, they're there. If they were a snake, they would have bit me. I'm going to rip off one dot. I find it easier. And I'm going to put it on, let's see, which side's the better side? This side or this side? I don't know. I always fuss with my bows a few times. All right, we're going to do it this way. We're going to put the glue dot right here on the bow, the center part of the bow. And we're just going to put it right here. So you see the Make-A-Wish, but you also see the candle. And there is our second bookbind explosion card. Explosion, I want to say explosion box. Explosion card, the bookbind explosion card. And I loved it. I was so glad that Connie Stewart did this and put it on her Facebook and her social media, because I love making these. These are fun. And let me show you it again. It's open it up, open here, and it opens up, and it says, "Hope your birthday is wonderful," and you have a place to sign it. And it sits up lovely. You can see how it sits up like this. And it's great. So these are the 2 we made today. We did the birthday one using Full of Life DSP and the Hooray for Surprises stamp set. And then this is using the Unbounded Beauty DSP and the Simply, what is it? Oh, Something Fancy sentiment stamp set, or something fancy, yes. And there we go. And it uses our Unbounded Beauty DSP and our in color ribbon, pretty in pink. So let me know which one is your favorite. You know, I say with my cards, usually with my cards, that they're like my kids. I just can't pick one that is my favorite. And if I did, it's because it depends on the day. So anyway, if you're a parent, you understand. So anyway, here's my 2 cards. Let me know which one in the comment is your favorite. And I was so glad that you joined me today. If you are watching a replay on YouTube or on Facebook, please do #replay, and I will see what I can do about finding those. And if you have a comment, I will respond as soon as possible. Again, this will be on my Facebook, or not my Facebook, on my YouTube channel starting tomorrow, with all of the dimensions and measurements and the cardstock colors that I did for each card. If you want to duplicate it, if you do and you post it, please tag me in it. I would love to see it. Just tag me as Stampin' with Jen, and I would love to see what you've created. Just a heads up, I am actually, next week you might find a little surprise video that I post on my Facebook business page. I'm going to be testing out a few things. I am up a few numbers in my followers, which is exciting, and thank you for those of you who tagged me or recommended me, or tagged others and recommended me to them. I appreciate it, and but I'm going to see about an alternate that if I can't do live starting after the week of June 10th, then I will keep up with my Fun Fridays. They just will be pre-recorded videos that I will place on Facebook and YouTube. So anyway, have a great weekend, and happy the end of May, and looking forward to our first week of June. and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.